Hello.
Hey.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. I just every time a Zoom comes on a cell phone, it's like, okay, which button do I need to use to show my face? Oh, there we go. Are you sure you want to do this? Oh wow. Don't. Can you hear me? Okay. There.
Yeah.
All these security questions. There we go.
How are you feeling? Are you feeling a bit better?
Yeah, a little bit. I can probably tell my voice is not as stressed as it was last night, so a little
Yeah,
bit.
you got better.
So, like I said, I did have a few questions, and I was going to tell you, the breakdown with the finances. On the cold calls that you do on the average, and I don't recall, I was going through my notes and I don't know if I recall how many on the average do you guys kind of you need to do in order to get a client? Is that like not 100 a day, but like by the time you say like you actually get a client, what has been the average? Like it probably takes about 100 calls to get one person to actually something like that. What's been your experience with that?
Way less than 100. I don't keep track of my cold calls, but I usually don't. It's rarely more than 10.
Okay.
Yeah. But I
Yeah,
mean,
so it's not like
I
100 or 200 and like, oh yeah, finally got a client that's gonna. It's not like way out there or 1,000 or anything like that.
no, and like if you follow our training, like Dan teaches us to send those free leads in advance, right? So you're
Okay.
even when you're cold calling and the business answers, you're sending them free leads for a little while. And
Uh-huh.
then once you've built some rapport and talked to the business owner a little bit, then you can ask if they'd be interested in working with you. But yeah, it's not even really like a cold call and then asking for anything, right? So
Mhm.
so the number is pretty low for
Right.
for me at least, but I don't mind cold calling.
Right. I'm just kind of thinking like how much does the average time like yeah, probably trying you can take probably 100 calls before you get somebody that actually is interested and then trying to get the
Yeah,
deal or something like that. Just try to figure that out. But okay, so you're probably saying much less than that.
way less than
And
that,
when
yeah.
you is it too hard to get a rapport with the client or is it not really in your experience?
They're busy, so I mean, people don't really wanna sit and chat and shoot the shit.
Yeah.
It's more like, "What are you calling for?" And that's why I just get straight to the point of like, "Can you help this customer?" And
Right.
then they'll answer my phone call again, and then some people are like, "Well, what do you do?" And I'll just let them know, like, "I'm a local business owner, and I have these calls, and I'm looking for someone to take them over."
You yeah, right. And at the end of the day, it's business for them and it's money for them to be made because you're driving traffic to them. And it's like, do you want their business? Because like the example of carpet cleaning,
Yeah.
do you want the guy's business to get cleaner carpet or not? Kind of like one of the type of deal. So,
Yeah,
so
and
the
if
ball is
not
really
if
so
not,
the ball is
then
in
you
the
send
court.
it. Yeah,
Right.
and if not, you send it to their competition, right? And they know that, and they do get these calls a lot because there's lead generation is something that is becoming more popular, especially as, like, business owners don't keep up with marketing and the trends of what to do online. They're not specialists in that area. They rely on people like us who know the ins and outs of it.
Second question was, so I don't want to use my personal phone to like call cold calls or anything like that. I don't know if you do yourself or you say, yeah, personal is fine. Or he's like, it'd be good to get like a separate second line or something like that for all that type of work. Just where do you stand on that? And what's usually the best practices or recommendation when it comes to using another phone? You know, what
I've
do you,
always used my cell phone, but I like using my cell phone because I can just text the business owner the information rather than email.
Mm,
Um, Also, I like to be responsive, so if they ever need anything or have a question, I don't like to leave time between communication with business owners, so I like to be available, but I know people
okay.
that run their business and they just have a work phone and run it more like, regular work hours, right? But I'm very much
Okay.
available to business owners and
Oh,
students.
okay. So
Yeah.
you don't use like Hush or anything like that. Like that's a separate thing that's with the phone that gives you a different phone number or something like that. You don't use anything like that. You just like, this is my phone number. This is my phone number. Wherever it's a family member calling or it's the business calling. That's the number. That's what you do, just personally yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I have been thinking about maybe switching,
Yeah.
because I am on my phone a lot.
Yeah.
But no, I've done it off my cell phone all the way up until now. It's been fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your own personal phone number. Okay. You did mention LLC, and I know all the tax person stuff like that's personal. I guess I could use DBA here. DBA is doing business as, or LLC.
Okay.
Yourself, did you? And I like I said, I don't know the Canadian business stuff. Do you use yourself an LLC or just a doing business as, or how soon did you start doing that, or what's kind of the recommend like what's been kind of just best practices for that, or
I have
your
an LTD in Canada, but when you meet with Shar, he's where does he live? I forget. He's in the States as well. He is
okay.
so thorough and he's gonna go through all that with you.
Okay.
He's the guy to ask to answer those questions. He's so smart in those areas and
He'll get me dialed in exactly what's best practices
yeah,
moving forward with business, where it is.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll see here. Now I'm married like this way. Your finances, blah, blah. This works out better. Have an account like this for deposits where you use PayPal or just an own bank. So he knows all that, the technicals.
Yeah, and
Okay, cool.
he will spend a lot of time with you. Like he will spend hours with you going over it until you fully understand it. He's also like available. So um yeah, that's the
Okay.
guy you're gonna lean on for that area.
Okay. That's good to know. How many students do you currently you're working with right now yourself, training? Like,
Yeah, I don't know the exact number, but honestly it isn't a lot. Because I think we kind of talked about it briefly last night. Like
yeah,
in the
like,
beginning, people are pretty like they have questions, they're kind of doubting themselves and wanting to chat more, but like once they're done the training and have a good idea of the business, like um the conversation is less and I don't talk to students as much anymore, right? So I don't
right, because they're pretty
know.
much you taught them how to fish, and now they're able to go out there and fish on their own without,
Yeah.
you know, hitting the line or hitting the net out there to grab it. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
I
it's not
think you
a
go
lot
ahead.
right now. Like it's
And I think you said meeting client face to face. You've never had to meet a client face to face or anything like that, or Zoom calls. It's just really in the business world, they're just so accustomed to just hearing your voice. Maybe you send them a link or whatever regarding the website and the information, and you never had to do the face to face stuff. Is that correct?
I personally love to do Zoom calls with my business owners so we can put a name to the face. If I can do a virtual coffee with them, I try my best to do that. It helps build trust, rapport, and I like to see who I'm talking to, but I don't think a lot of people do that, and it's definitely not necessary. I just like to do that.
Yeah, no, basically, yeah, because the digital world, like back in the old days, people was face to face, and it probably does bring more of I'm trying to look for the word certainty or just like accountability. Like there is
Yeah,
this person. I'm just not talking to AI now these days, where somebody
yeah,
behind the computer screen doesn't want to you know, it's like, look, I'm here to do business. You can see my face, you know, and whatever. So probably puts up accountability.
yeah.
How long did you do this before you started doing coaching? Like when you started in 2018, but you just recently started doing coaching?
Yeah, last December, so just over a year.
Okay, so you've just been doing the coaching. Okay, but other than that, you've just been doing what I'll be trained to do is just all of what you've been doing to the past then 5 years, and then you just got into the coaching right now,
Yeah.
regarding this for 6 years. Okay,
Yeah.
so all right, so here's the deal. I do want to, and I will. I, I, being this is only the second time we spoke, I
Mhm.
think, and we don't know each other from Adam practically, but I think, you're clear. You've been answering my questions really well, and I do want to join. The thing, what I want to do though is, I don't know if Canada has April 15th, tax day or whatever, and I need to make sure, and I'm working with my CPA, where if I'm owing or I'm getting anything back, I do want to move forward, and I think if this thing is actually a to me, based on our discussion, this is a good fit for me to do. especially in the areas I know technically. And
Yeah.
also, seeing, I built websites back way in the day, but that was like really old school HTML stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and things that have advanced, I'm just so much more into of other stuff that, and now you see it's like, wow, things have so changed in the last, very simple. So I think this fits my character. I like it. The thing is, I based on, because it is a large investment, and I know taxes coming up for April 15th. I will know more within a week or two from my CPA regarding if I'm owing or giving. The point
Right.
is, I do want you to be my coach. I think we have a good rapport, even though it's been just two discussions. I think that when I said, "Hey, I will be here at 2 o'clock or the 6 o'clock," and things like this, you can see just from even a little example, even though it's not a long list, that hey, the guy shows up.
Mhm.
Um, like I said,
I
I
knew
have.
you would. I knew you
Yeah,
wouldn't leave me hanging.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
why I said, man, I gave you the option. I said I could do the 1,000, or I just see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. It's kind of like, so I wanted to see, if with a little test there, just to see, hey, do you trust me? Do we want to do this? So what I want to do is, I want you to be my coach. Um, when I pay for this, I'm going to be paying, and I get on the ground running. That means I already scheduled myself where I'm like, okay, I'm going to be putting probably a minimum of 2 hours every day with
Mhm.
this. And if I have weekends where I can do 4 or 5 hours, that's what I'm going to do. I'm looking forward to talk to, what's his name? Shar? What's his name again?
Char. 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 Char.
Shar. Okay. Shar, if you can get him within 2 weeks when I first start,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably going to be good. I think I'll have enough saturation in my brain in order
Okay.
to actually understand what he's saying moving forward. I do want where the 5 websites are kind of like built for me, because I look at that as, even though I know I could probably do it myself, I still see that as time and a learning curve. And I prefer to have like 5 that are set, ready to go ahead and move forward with other processes of actually cold calling and get those things dialed in.
Yeah.
And then as those get dialed in, then I start perfecting my own skills of actually building the website. So I kind of balance time and resource specifically. Now, again, what I am going to do is I am going to get my Facebook rolling. I think you sent me a link. I'm a very much email guy. Texting for me is mostly like you say, hey, I'm on the call, or hey, what's up? That's kind of texting. But most everything regarding like Zoom links or anything details, I like email and the laptop. That's just kind of function. I know a lot of, I try to keep phone as literally call, check my bank account, and check a text message. you
Okay.
know, even that's
Yeah.
just the way I work, because I like big screens. I like, see the whole picture and things like that when it comes to things like that. So I'm a very email type of, old school email laptop type of guy.
Okay.
Um, I need a big screen. People could do phones like that. It's hard for me to get it in when it's small.
Okay.
So I will know within my CPA whether it be this week or next week. And it was a kind of a hard decision, because part of me is like, I just want to pay, lay it out the whole amount, and let's just roll. But I don't want to put myself in a position where, if there is owing or whatever, things like this, I become, top heavy with any type of debt, that where I'm now concerned about the debt and not focused on the project. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be someone who makes, you know, a decision like that where it makes my mind concerned about, like I said, I repeat myself, something that over here is like, oh crap, because I'm not certain about this thing over here, because I'm not going to know within the next week or two. Once I know within the next week or two regarding that area too, which I'll know, then I can say, okay, I can pay the full thing outright, or let's go ahead and let's do the payment plan, so I can adjust debt properly. That doesn't become a distraction when I move forward with this new job. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah.
So
So just so I am on the same page, you're saying you want to wait until the 15th, like you don't want to leave a deposit
yeah.
or
Well, what I'm going to do is, honestly, I don't even think you're going to need to wait till the 15th. I'm going to know exactly within a week or 2 weeks from now. And
Mhm.
then most likely I will proceed with paying. That's what I'm saying. I just got
Okay.
to, because I don't have my information back from CPA. There's a couple little things over here that need to be adjusted within the next week or two. And it's like, part of me is like, I just want to pay now and move. But is that, and the thing is, I had to go, look, you guys aren't going anywhere. You've been around. If you're a reasonable person, I think you'll understand based on tax season, things like that here. And I just got to make the right proper adjustments so that when I do pay, it's in the right category of my finances of that debt and dealing with that, and not putting something where it's like, oh crap,
Yeah.
all you need to do is wait like a week or two to find out, and you made the wrong decision on how to handle that. And now you're
Mhm.
trying to put yourself by it, and it's like, oh crap, now I'm like, my mind is like bothered with that instead of focusing then on the job. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
and I think that's
for
very
sure.
important. I think that's important for business. You know,
Mhm.
you have to weigh your risk and reward. And you also, there's always going to be some sort of debt, and there's always going to be risk, but you always want to have that, like, at best, controlled risk, instead
Yeah,
of like, oh crap, you just blew up something over here, and all you had to do is just be patient for an extra day or two, so you knew
right.
exactly how to deal with that.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be that just jump into guy. Now, that's the only thing that's right now just holding me back. But what I want to do is, like, I got your number. Um, while before, like I say, pay into the system, I'll get my Facebook going. I'll message you, say, hey, here's my Facebook. I'm getting this. I'm gonna do the things that I can prior, because I think you gave me some difference. Like, there's the Facebook. If there's other couple little things I could do prior just to be prepped and ready, which I want to do. And I'm
Mhm.
looking at, honestly, probably 1, maybe 2 weeks from now, and getting with
Yeah.
you and just saying, okay,
Yeah.
let's roll this way and moving forward with that. But no, I don't think I have to wait till April 15th. I just got to know what to expect, by that time. And so I know what I'm taking on. And again,
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong with debt as long as it's controlled debt and you're putting it in the right place and it's handled properly. And
Yeah, and as long
like I
as it's
said,
return on your investment.
if CPA says, "Oh no, you owe 10 grand," I mean, whoa, which I know I'm not going to be the case, but the thing is, like, here I do this, and then I got on top of that, and be like, "Oh crap, what have I just done to myself?"
Yeah.
And that's just an example. I know that's not going to be the case. However, I just don't want to be foolish with that.
Yeah.
So, are
I'll just
you?
let you know I'll just let you know too, like, I'm totally on board with that. That is fine with
Mhm.
me. I'm happy with that plan. I think that sounds like a great plan, but I just want to give you an option too that if you wanted to leave a deposit today, you can
Mhm.
pay the rest off in a week or two, or if you wanted to set up the payment plan at that time, you can do that. Um,
Mhm.
so that way you do get access to the training, you can start going through it, you can book your one-on-one with Shar so that in 2 weeks' time you're kind of like a little bit further ahead. So I just want to let you know that is also an option if you wanted
Oh,
to,
okay.
or we can definitely do that. So you leave $1,000 deposit today, and then in 2 weeks' time, when you talk to your
CPA.
accountant CPA, then if you want to pay it all off at that time, you can, the remaining balance. Or if you say, you know what, let's just finance the rest over a payment plan, then we can do that, set it up at that time too. That is totally, we're fine to do that with you if that's something you want.
So we had a thing where it was originally, I think it was 6,860, correct? And at that time, the offer was, well, if you go ahead and pay it all right now, outright, blah blah blah, you guys were going to take $1,000 off, and it would be 5,860. So the question is, if with this $1,000 deposit, what would that which one would that reflect to regarding the $1,000 deposit?
So if you leave, it's 6,860 is the price of the training. You leave
Mhm.
it into $1,000, that's 5,860
Okay.
left that you would pay off. If you can pay it off early, we do have, I mean, ePay loves that, right? Dan and ePay are very happy if you, the sooner you can pay it off, the better. So there's some savings there too. Um, but life happens. So if you want to just finance the rest over like 12 months or longer, we can do that for you. That's fine.
Okay. So you're saying the offer is still $1,000 for a deposit. That gives me that gives me access to at least the curriculum and get things rolling for that,
Yeah.
and then when we get together next 2 weeks or so, week or 2 weeks, depending, then we could discuss about what to do with the rest, with the 586. Okay.
Yeah, and then, it takes time to think of your niches. You're gonna be on that part of the training for probably 2 weeks. Um, and then within that time, you're gonna sit and meet with Shar. Um, and yeah, so it's just that's there if you want to do that.
Okay. Well, I didn't think of that. You put you put anything in the equation.
Surprise.
Surprise. Um, let me let me think on that and let me text you back. Let me think
Yeah,
on that. Okay.
yeah, definitely.
Give me a time. But like I said, let me think on that. But I think I think I can do this. I think I really can. And I do look at it as, you know, for some people maybe 6,800 isn't a lot. Still 6,800 is still a lot. you know.
Yeah, totally. It is. Yeah,
you
I
know, I
understand.
understand colleges are 40 to 80,000, which is crazy. But really, you know, with the cost of like over here on the West Coast, do you know, take a guess how much a dozen eggs is? Just take a guess.
A dozen eggs. Well, here right now it's like four something. Is it like $6?
Try $9 to $12
Why?
because they claim a bird caught the cold again. It seems to every year the past, so since 2022, one bird will catch, one chicken will catch a cold. And what they'll do is they slaughter off the entire hen. So in other words, these farmers have thousands and thousands of chickens, right? One
Right.
catches the cold, oh, it's the bird flu. And so in order to prevent these other ones to be contaminated, they completely wipe out their stock of chickens that caught the cold. And then what they do is you know, it's the way it is. You got the way with farms work is you got your baby little chicks, then you got your, you know, infants, then you got your teenagers, and then you got your adults, right? And
Hmm.
so, you know, chickens grow up pretty quickly. So you have to basically wait till those teenage hens are able to become more adults to where they can go ahead and produce eggs.
Yeah.
Well, what they do is they got a section where they like, oh, if one or two, at the most, one catches a cold, they say, well, the whole entire hen that are laying eggs are infected, and we have to basically slaughter off this large section. And so what happens is you go from, you know, like you said, like $4 a dozen, like for eggs, all of a sudden you got triple in the price. And it's
Oh,
been $9 to $12 since the beginning of, I think December, since December, I think. Yeah, December,
well, that's
November.
too
So
much.
yeah, so just cost of living here on the West Coast, and then of course energy and all that stuff, it's just absolutely been so insane.
Yeah.
So I have to. That's why I said with budgeting, this, you know, my CPO taxes, my eggs cost me $9 to $12 depending. It's so, and you get hit with that immediately. So in other words, things, instead of my dozen eggs costing maybe $4 or $5 or something like that, it's now $9 to $12. And then
Hmm.
of course, because eggs are in everything that's made,
Yeah.
literally,
Yeah.
then the cost of other foods go up because the rest, not just restaurants, but then product that's also made, well, they're also going up the cost of the egg, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So everything when it comes to food increases literally
Yeah.
by triple. So
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
I
not,
know.
it's just not
It's
been cool.
no, I know the world is a weird place right now. But listen, you
Yeah.
think about it and
Yeah.
call me or text me when if you want to get started, I will text you a link. You
Yeah.
can update your credit card information. I
Yeah.
can on your card, you'll get a receipt and then I can email your login credentials. So it is easy just to virtually kind of like get it started. If you decide even today, like, you know what, yes, let's get started. Here's you can my card, you can run my deposit.
Mm,
Email it all over to you. So, and then,
okay.
or if you want to wait until, 2 weeks, if that's better for you, then that is totally fine. And I'm here.
Okay, excellent. Well, that was my big thing was like, you know, I didn't want a situation where like, well, man, this is just today and, you know, sorry, blah, blah, blah. You know, that, I was hoping that wouldn't be the case, but it sounds like that is not the case, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
So I like the additional option. Let me think on that for a little bit. I got
Okay.
your number and we'll just go from there. And like, again, I'm still looking forward to working with you. And
Yeah.
I believe this is a fit for me and I'm ready to go. I just got to make sure from a tax perspective and what's going on that everything is okay, and I'll know within
Okay.
the next week or two.
Yeah. Also, you can use this as a tax write-off too, right? So talk to your CPA about that.
Right, for next year,
Yeah.
right, right. Okay. Oh, cool. I did not know that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, knowing that. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Looking forward to get in touch again, and I'll keep you posted, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Sounds good. Have a good day. We'll talk to you
All right.
again soon. Okay. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.